guys, so excited because I think that I made my first successful painting. A little something about me is that I was really good at like pencil drawings and ink drawings, and then everything that involved maybe even a slight bit of learning curve, I was like, So like I remember in art class, like they would always have us do just like the most random things, you know, sculpting for a day. You would work with gesso for a day. For me, like that was fun and everything, but I never had much interest in that because I felt like I wasn't good, and so I would just be like, okay, like the sketches that I make in my notebooks in class that are getting all the praise, the easy stuff that I can do in my sketchbook, like that's kind of my comfort zone and I don't really steer out of it. Digital art was cropping up more and more, and I was so limited in my skill set that I didn't really know how to even use technology. I didn't know that Photoshop existed at that time. I didn't know like what software to even use. Like I remember one time I made an image that was like, oh, my best attempt at like digital art, digital painting. And it was like 100 layers, like it didn't look that great. I was using my dad's old Wacom that was like circa 2000, like so pixelated, no sensitivity at all. Like it was just like the most frustrating experience. I ended up getting my own Wacom eventually, but even then it was still just like I was having a lot of issue kind of mentally trying to piece the drawing on the Wacom down here on the desk to like the screen, and I was just like, okay, I thought that I was drawing this line over here, but now it's like all the way over here. And I was just like, man, I'm dumb. I can't figure this out. This is just something I'm not good at, and maybe I should just accept that and move on. Flash forward to how I feel about things now. I'm like, okay, I can't avoid this forever. I do want to improve as a person, and like this, it's been kind of fun. This experience of like learning all these different colors, and every time I've been like, oh, I feel like I pieced together something and I understand something so much more, and I feel so much better for it. All of that to say, my biggest fears have been color, digital art in general, and then digital painting. Because when I see those videos of people, you know, doing some digital art and it's taken like 8 hours, I'm like, that's a lot. Because in my head, I'm like, even though I know that this is gonna come out beautiful for you, there's no guarantee that it's gonna come out beautiful for me. Either way. The other day, I was like not feeling anything. I was just like, man, we all have those days where we're just like extremely discouraged and extremely discouraging to ourselves. And so it was one of those days, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna draw like when I was a kid, where I just draw like shapes and faces and see where that would take me. I feel like I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself to be like, we're drawing backgrounds, perspective, experimentation, environments. Not to say that I don't like doing that, but it takes a little bit of time, it takes a little bit of thought process to do all that for something that could be so simple and just like, look, you want to practice coloring? Just draw anything you like. Draw something you like. And I like drawing faces. And I feel like I've kind of discouraged myself from doing that because I'm like, well, I have other things that I want to improve on as well. But sometimes when you want to get out of your comfort zone, you need to grab something that's in your comfort zone. Like if you're going to go to sleep over somebody's house for the first time, you might need to pack a bag. You might need to bring your pillow. If that's what you need to feel comfortable in that space, to make that leap. So either way, I wasn't drawing any particular face, and not too far into the sketch, I was like, oh, you know what this looks like for me? This reminds me of the main character from this anime called Michiko to Hatchin. All of my memories of that show came back, and I was like, ah! I just remember being so touched by it, and like I was getting so nostalgic for this show, and I just decided to make whatever sketch I was doing into some fan art. And if you haven't watched it, which most likely it's okay, but the major theme that I get from the whole thing is like motherhood and family. So I started with my little sketch on Michiko, and then I was like, ugh, that's like the most touching part of the show for me. So I drew Hachin in there because I was like, like, I don't know, I was getting sentimental. I don't know. Anyway, then I was like, I should color this, like real color this, like take the time that I need to make this how I would want to envision it. Like I want like the colors to be vibrant and saturated. I want it to exude sun and bright day and just kind of be like a snapshot of like a Polaroid picture or something. I don't know. I think for me, the difficult part when starting out was how to go about, I guess, the shapelessness of it. I didn't do this with any tutorials, so I'm definitely gonna watch some tutorials on like how other people go about painting or like this no line process. Or you can just like ask some friends like what the heck they do. Cause I was just like so lost for a second where I'm like, okay, for a period like nothing looks like anything. But I did the clouds in a really smudgy, oil painty brush type of way, and I was like, oh, that looks actually good. So I kind of tried to like keep that momentum with everything else. I pretty much focused on like Michiko first because like that's my freaking girl, man. I'm like, ah! So I wasn't as confident with Hachin's space. I don't know, I hope it works. I like the peach tones, I thought they were cute. But then like, it was looking wild until I started drawing the eyes, and then I was like, oh, it's coming together. I did a few little outlines with some color in different places just because like, I wasn't really sure how to go about making the lips for Hachin, or like the lip corners. Not quite there yet. You know, obviously like in terms of painting, it's not like a realistic painting or anything, but I'd still classify this as a painting, and like I'm definitely proud of it so far because like it could have been so much worse. I'm like incredibly proud of how this turned out. I think I'm improving a lot. The saturation is exactly like how I want it, and I don't feel like it's too many colors or like anything's just like out of place. Like I feel really good about this one. I'm like, but yeah, let me know what you think about this show if you're able to watch it. Oh my gosh, we can like bond over that. I'm just gonna write a list of all these shows that I like and just, I don't know. I just know that I'm like so excited about this, and I'm like, I want more of this. I want to do more of this. Like it looks so, yeah. But yeah, I'm sure with every one I'm gonna get better, and I don't know, I'm like flabbergasted right now. Tell me what you think about this in the comments. I know I didn't explain it amazingly. I know that I'm jumbled right now. I know that I'm way too excited to actually talk about anything of importance and of value. But the fact is, I don't know what I did. I think I caught lightning in a bottle, and I'm going to attempt to try and do this again and again and again until I figure out like what is the formula for this, because that's just how I try and operate. And so thank you for watching my jumbled mess of thoughts until the end, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!